have to turn around.
Sorry, please. Please forgive me, please.
Yeah. Turn around.
But I forgot to pay. I told you.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Turn around.
No, sir. I told you I forgot. Sorry, but I pay. I pay for you. I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll
Please, just one. Forgive me, please, sir. Please.
Turn around.
Please, sir.
Turn around.
No, sir. Please. Sir, please.
I don't have an option right now. Okay, let me put you in handcuffs and I'll further discuss this.
No, sir. Please.
Okay?
Please.
I don't have an option.
Sorry, sir. I pay for you. I'm sorry. I forgot. Sorry, sir. Please.
Turn around.
Sorry, sir. No, okay. No, sir. Sorry.
You don't want to do this. Come on.
No, sorry. No.
Okay? You're going to be placed in the handcuffs, okay?
Sorry, please.
This isn't going to go anywhere. You could keep saying sorry, but it's not going to change it. Okay? It's going over it. Okay? You have to turn around. You have to turn around. You have to turn around. You don't want to make this worse. Okay? Turn around.
No, sorry, please. No.
Okay, sit down. Have a seat. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Okay? Sit down. Listen to me.
Please.
We are not a serious country. You know, it's crazy. I've lived abroad on and off for since after high school. You know, I've lived in other countries. I speak other languages. I deal with other cultures. I've never once been anywhere, especially not even here in the United States, where I was thinking to myself, let me go steal some shit and risk getting caught or getting in trouble while I'm in another person's country. These people allowed me to come here as a guest. I appreciate it. I've been to countries where friends of mine were not even allowed in because they have, DUIs or other things on their record. So I always look at it where I'm being allowed to visit these other countries, and I'm like, I'm grateful. I'm like, well, thank you. I never once considered going to another country to commit crimes. I never once considered going over there and even taking the risk, because in other countries, they don't play. There is no crying or talking your way out. You can pay your way out in some situations, but they are going to immediately deport the fuck out of you. They're not going to let you sit there and talk your way out. And in other countries I've been to, well, you'll just get beaten up so bad and they'll just put you in a jail until you heal up. And then you leave when you leave. They don't have a system like we have here. So many people take our system over here for granted. They try to hold court on the side of the road, not even appreciating the fact that we have a judicial system where you actually are supposed to go and plead your case to a judge. That's not even an option every country and everywhere you go. That's a privilege. But you want to hold court on the side of the road and make a scene instead of just complying. And if you were really in the right, wait till you get before a judge and you explain yourself and you show the evidence and you proving it, and trying to have court on the side of the road isn't the answer. This woman is pretending that she is so sorry. She obviously came here, immigrated here. This is the first time she's just been caught. These people, they come here to this country to exploit our weaknesses. They use our kindness. And you know how it is in life. People feel to whom much is given, much is required. So they think we must be doing better than everybody. Maybe we're supposed to reach back. And they're wrong. None of these people appreciate anything we're doing for them. They don't even pledge allegiance to our country or to our flag. They disrespect us and they do not like us so much that they would come here and just openly commit brazen crimes. So that means they're coming to this country not to work, not to contribute like everybody says, oh, Rico, they're workers. No. They come here to steal. They come here and they get on our welfare programs. They come here and they use our medical programs against us. They'll go run up high bills, not pay them. And Americans who are from this country are actually forced to eventually pay them with our tax dollars. So it's crazy. People are coming all the way to the United States not to become a prosperous person and work and follow the American dream. They're coming here to exploit our social programs. But you know, it's crazy. When I lived in Germany, the same thing happened there, happened in France, super happening when I was in the UK, Canada, and now here in the United States. The only difference is in these other countries, they tax you 80 something, 90% sometimes of your income to cover these social programs for all these other people. Here in the United States, we don't have to pay those types of taxes, but the money that is coming in, they have to literally budget out huge swabs of it that could be going to Americans just to cover the expenses ran up by these immigrants, or illegal, legal, it doesn't matter to me. The bills that they're creating upon us, where they're using our goodwill against us. You know, it has to come a time where eventually you have to say to yourself, whose bottom line is more important, mine or theirs? And if you are at a point where you're willing to put other people in front of you, then just go jump, and just go jump across the border and go to another country yourself. Matter of fact, just donate everything you have to these other people. Why even, what are you even getting up and what are you even living for then? You are the only person that's experiencing your life. You have to make you a priority. You cannot be pretending you're living for strangers and virtue signaling. That doesn't make you a good person. Typically, in my experience, the most evil and horrible people I've ever met were those who were pretending to be so virtuous and loving and caring. They're usually some sickos behind closed doors, and they have to tell themselves that and tell others that because they're trying to get people to believe something that they know isn't true. They don't even believe it. See, me, I'm rational. I don't need to pretend to be virtuous and virtue signal and say, oh, we need to help and give all. That doesn't move the needle for me. This is, in this world, you don't work, you don't eat. You have to figure out a way to earn and provide for yourself. Stealing from others, friends, family, strangers, stealing from other countries, etc. That's not a plan. You could have stolen your home country. Why didn't you stay there? You came here to use our kindness against us because you see it as a weakness. There's no way in hell I could go to India right now, start stealing, and expect to get a slap on the wrist and expect to argue with their police and expect to make it out of a situation alive. There's no way in hell. But yet, here she is, lying and crying.
You have to turn around.
Sorry, please. Please forgive me, please.
Yeah. Turn around.
But I forgot to pay. I told you.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Turn around.
No, sir. I told you I forgot. Sorry, but I pay. I pay for.
No, you don't pay after you get caught stealing. This isn't a double dare where, oh, you got me, let me pay. No, you already have committed the crime. You can't go back and try to remedy it. This isn't about the money, because had we not caught you, you would have got away and you would have successfully stole from us. You would have taken from us. Inventory isn't free. Employees must get paid. Mortgages must get paid. Leases must get paid. We have bills, and we let too many people steal, we're going to have to close. And then you got people complaining about, well, why are the stores leaving from our area? Well, we were just being a little too lenient on these shoplifters because they have accents. Get the fuck out of here. No, it doesn't matter your accent. I don't care what country you came from. If you don't respect our rules and our laws, you cannot be here. But if we were a serious country, we would just be deporting people instantly. No, how do you give due process to a person that didn't follow any due process to come here to begin with? There is no due process. Everything that you're saying that you want to give these illegals that are here, those are only for Americans. Even our constitutional rights are solely for Americans. You can't go to China and try to invoke American constitutional rights. You're an idiot. The citizens of this country are who these laws are for. These foreigners, they're not even supposed to be here. Return to sender.
I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll
Please, just one, forgive me, please, sir. Please.
turn around.
Please, sir.
Turn around.
No, sir, please. Sir, please.
I don't have an option right now. Okay, let me put you in handcuffs and I'll further discuss
No,
this.
sir, please.
Okay?
Please,
I don't
forgive
have
me.
an option.
Sorry, sir. I pay for you. I'm sorry. I'm forgot. Sorry, sir, please.
Turn around.
Sorry, sir. No, no, sir, sorry,
You don't
please.
want to do this. Come on.
No, no,
Turn
sorry,
around.
please.
The crazy part is a lot of people who are thieves, they're not stealing because they're broke. They're stealing because they can. They feel like they're better than you. So they don't owe you anything. Actually, you owe them for just being in your presence. I remember I had a girlfriend and she used to hang out with like this gay dude and she would say that's her brother, but I'm like, you guys are completely different races. That's obviously not your brother. So me and her would, sneak off to the room and I would never be like, he could just be in my house by himself because I'll be honest, a lot of gay people have sticky fingers. So, and one time, when he was leaving my house with her, he picked up my shades and walked out. And I seen it on camera. So I had to tell her, like, look, I'm gonna drag your brother out of that car, bring my glasses back right now. Cause I noticed when I woke up, my glasses were gone. See, in his mind, he was like, well, even though this man is being hospitable, he's letting me hang out, I'm not getting anything from this. I'm sitting here by myself. Yeah, he's letting me drink. Yeah, I can watch TV, listen to music, play pool, but I'm not benefiting from this. So I should find stuff to take just so it can balance out. So I'm getting something too. Unfortunately, that's the mentality a lot of these people share. So again, you said, of course you'll pay for it. You can afford it. When you watch a lot of these shoplifting videos, it's not like these people are so desperate and literally starving to death. They're weighing 15 and 20 pounds. They look like they're in those old videos, just, walking around. No, they have money in their pocket. Some people are kleptomaniacs too. Like that's when you see those celebrities that are stealing who have plenty of money, but they're stealing also because they're not afraid of you. They're not afraid of you. What I mean, if they're not afraid of, they're not going to get arrested. They're not going to get punished heavily. You're going to be timid even to approach them and to stop them from shoplifting. So what are they? There's nothing to be afraid of. There's no consequence because you're not a serious person. We're not a serious nation anymore. We used to be strict. We used to have laws that had to be followed and rules that must be governed, but now it's just chaos. Anything goes. We got Trump is supposed to basically figure out how to close every gap, and there's no one helping them. We got an election system where you don't even need an ID. You can literally just write fake names on ballots and turn them in, and there's nobody to verify them, double check them, audit them. And even if the audit comes back that the ballots were fake, they're not going to reverse the results of the election because the person who won is now in power. They're not going to change anything. So that means we don't really have an election. That means there is no election. That means this is all fake. If fraud is allowed, then there is no election. It's not there. You're basically just, doing it for ceremonial purposes. If fraud is allowed, there are no elections. There's no such thing as voting. It's not really a thing. It's basically like when your brother gives you the PlayStation controller that's not plugged up and you think you're playing, and you're not. It's all fake. So we're letting people come over here, but we're not immediately kicking them out or literally being strict on crime. So that way we're protecting our businesses, our merchandise, our companies. If our bottom line is not important than their tears and their feelings, then not only do we deserve to lose everything, we will lose everything. We've been losing everything. We're barely trying to get stuff back together. We're working hard. We were under a Democrat leadership for 4 years too long. This country started to look like California. We're now starting to we're actually starting to bring things back. Trump's making a lot of progress, but this whole situation with these immigrants and these people that are literally just mass migrating over here to steal from us and rob our country blind because they think we're weak, because they know we're weak. We got to put a stop to this. An example should have been made here, but instead, he gave up.
Okay? You're going to be placed in the handcuffs, okay?
Sorry, please.
This isn't going to go anywhere. You could keep saying sorry, but it's not going to change it. Okay? It's only over with. Okay? You have to turn around. You have to turn around. You have to turn around. You don't.
If you were so sorry, why did you get on an airplane just to fly to my country to steal from Target? If you're that sorry, why didn't you come over here looking for a job so you can make an opportunity for yourself? See, people keep forgetting they're not here for the American dream. The only person in America dreaming is you. They're here for action. They're here to rob you. When their housing is being subsidized and you have to pay full rent, they're robbing you. When they're getting SNAP and EBT benefits, but you show up and you're paying with your debit card for food and groceries, they're robbing you. They're not being audited by the IRS. They don't have to uphold the same standards and requirements that we have by just being citizens. So basically, they're better than us, right? They're above us. Hell, if she was able to get away from this cop right now, we don't even know who she is. They don't have a birth certificate. They could just say they can give a different name. I remember watching those videos of the border. People were dropping all their IDs and passports, and they come over here to the U.S., start again with a new identity. Pedophiles, perverts, rapists, drug dealers, kidnappers, all types of people came over here and started over with brand new identities. You can't trace their history. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're up to. But now they're driving and living right around the corner from you, and you're none the wiser. That's what I mean. We're not serious. We're not a serious country. And we'll let someone start crying, and then we'll suspend the Constitution, and we'll forget all the history we have, and we'll just lay down our weapons and just give in and let them just take us over. Because what are you gonna do? Fight back? You're scared. You're weak. But they're strong. They're happy to manipulate you. They can come over here to our country and do this, but we wouldn't dare go to their country and do the same. We never have and never will. Most of us a lot of people have never even left this country in the first place. So I guess America is just up for the taking because no one wants to do what it takes to stop this behavior and drop the hammer. People are out there fighting against ICE and people who are trying to find missing children. They're upset because they're doing it, because they want the chaos. They want the country to be diluted. They want the country to basically buckle. That's how envious and jealous and people, the self-hate from a lot of Americans is ridiculous. Listen, you'll see this man right here. He's in full authority and he just gives up.
You don't want to make this worse. Okay? Turn around.
Sorry, please. No.
Sit down. Have a seat. Sit down. Sit down.
All that fake fucking crying, all that fake shivering. If you were really scared, you wouldn't be there stealing in the first place. You're only doing this because you got caught and you're scamming your way out. You're a scammer. You scammed your way over here. Now you're weaseling your way out of these situations. And because the person, he sounds like he's white, he's afraid of being called racist. He's afraid of being called oppressive or colonized, whatever. Well, people are so easily shamed. So he's so afraid of the names that he's telling her, you know what? I don't even got to put you in handcuffs no more. Just sit down. He gave up. She won. So this video inspires others that are going to watch it, and they're learning. Their brains are being trained on how to play the game and how to beat our system, how to make sure they can disarm us without touching us. Matter of fact, by using certain words and mannerisms, we might just give them our badge and gun and tell them to and pray that they don't arrest us. That's the path that we're on right now. I swear to God, if Chinese and Russian tanks rolled into Times Square and we were invaded from another country, immigrants like this, gays and black people, they would jump on the tanks of the invaders and start twerking and celebrating their arrival, because we're not all the same type of Americans. You know, they said we're a republic if we can keep it. We have way too many people with citizenship here that want to give our republic away. They want this to be a multicultural democracy that's under Chinese or Russian rule. They're not going to bust a grape in a food fight. They're not going to fight for this land. They won't fight sleep. They're narcolepsy. But here we are, the last of the patriots, trying to keep what our ancestors created for us, a way of life, hoping that maybe our children can enjoy what we used to 20 years ago. And it's slipping away. Slipping. You know, we hear tears like this.
Sit down. Okay? Sit down. Listen to me.
Please.
Yeah.
We let people start crying like this at the border. Now we suspend our own immigration laws. And now they're in our country and we suspend law and order. She's not being arrested. She's not being brought to justice. So she's better than a regular American who this might not work on. A regular American might not be given this kind of grace. It's a shame. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to keep it unless we get serious. Trump's is serious. Pete Hegseth is serious. But I don't see enough serious support because people are worried about what others on the internet are going to say. They're worried about blacks and gay people on the internet calling them names and races because you support the president, you're a patriot, you believe in securing our country, fighting crime, getting illegals out of your area so that your own people, your neighbors, can go back to work. I've seen the results of immigration and enforcement, their results. I've seen the results. People in my city of Los Angeles, they don't even want to gangbang no more. One of my really good friends, we're both from the same neighborhood and everything. He literally just got a job that historically for the past 30 years, there's only been illegal Mexicans working. He is so damn happy to be at work. You know, people used to swear that Americans wouldn't do certain jobs. People are fucking liars. They're idiots. We will and we can and will do any job that we're paid to. Certain companies, they got really rich by underpaying people. So for them, it's a slight convenience to start paying people minimum wage or what they're owed, but they're not going to just shut down and just lose everything because they refuse to pay. They don't have a choice but to pay. That's what's happening in places like in California where the immigrants are being removed by force. Everyone's going back to work. Rent prices are going down. Crime rates are going down. People are actually starting to want to go out to eat more and go spend money. The economy's starting to get better in places where the illegals are gone. They were ripping us off the whole time. Imagine me living in Los Angeles and I'm wondering why the hell my one-bedroom apartment is $2,900 a month. But then all of a sudden, December 1st, that same unit, 6 months later, $2,300 a month. What's the difference? Oh, the building's not full. The building the building's not basically filled with illegal aliens and illegal migrants who are basically willing to pay a premium so that you don't ask questions about their paperwork and how they live there. Amazing what a difference a few months can make by just enforcing the laws that we're all running on books. Imagine all of my friends and family members that are in prison right now for all these years that were committing crimes. They would have all loved to find a job. We never even had the option to have jobs in California. I've never been a place where it wasn't full of Latinos working in warehouses or driving trucks, or even when you go to the mall or when you go to a store, the whole place is usually staffed by Latinos. I'm hearing the same thing is about Somalians and East Africans when you go to these Midwest, or you go to Minnesota, you go to Wisconsin, you go to DC. But the regular Americans are out of work, can't get a job. But these immigrants they work at the airport. They got all the rental car places. They have all of the boutiques and all of the restaurants, and they work at the hotels. And the Americans are just left assed out to dry, as if because we're Americans, we're all billionaires, and the illegals are coming here and they're just getting started. You know, it's funny. You see Black Americans say, oh, white people had a 400-year head start. But when illegals come here, like when my family immigrated here, we see American Blacks and we say, shit, what's your excuse? You had a 150-year head start. So everyone's looking at Americans like we had a head start in this country. So we're all gonna band together. We're gonna just take what we can get, which is everything at your expense. Your kids are gonna have to go out and try to hustle and figure out how to make money because, well, no one's gonna hire them because, well, if they want minimum wage, this person's gonna work for half that. You can't compete. And you don't have to give them benefits. And they can't go report you to nobody because, well, they're not really employees. They're just there doing the work. Work that, you can't even get a summer job in a lot of our big cities because illegals are doing all the work. You can't get it. Imagine, you're 16 years old. You're off for the summer. You want to make extra money so you can get food and go buy clothes and, and get into the workforce. You go apply for a job at a car wash, but you're an American teenager. They're going to laugh you out of there. Remember when those jobs used to be meant for young American kids? You might want to work at the car wash or maybe work at the mall, work at a store, maybe Walmart. If you're from one of these big cities, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These jobs were never available for us. And now all of a sudden they are. Now people are getting callbacks. People that have been waiting for callbacks for 3-4 years are now, their phones are ringing off the hook from people asking them to get back on the road and be drivers again. Come work in these warehouses. Matter of fact, we'll pay for your trade school. You want to learn about electricity? You want to do painting? You want to do drywall? You want to learn how to do plumbing? We'll pay for it, and we already have jobs for you working. But all we had to do was fucking ignore the tears of these goddamn trifling, thieving immigrants that are coming here to take from us. All we had to do was ignore them. Trump ignores them. I remember AOC crying in front of saying, oh, these kids are in cages. They wouldn't be in a fucking cage if their parents weren't trying to smuggle them into the US. And you find out after DNA testing, those kids were kidnapped victims in the first place. They weren't with their parents. It's mercy by separating them and putting them in a separate room. Those were not even their parents. Those were their kidnappers. You know how many kids used to come across that border, get into the US, be sold between these pedophile circles, and then the kids just disappeared. Nobody knows where they went. That was a way of life over here for a long time. The borders are closed now. That's all being stopped. We let these people come over here and shame us into submission. They play us. They trick us. And they use your own goodwill against you. You're no better than them, but they're above you. They've replaced you. We're doing what we can now to roll that back and get them out of here. America first means Americans first. Not everybody else. Americans first. I was just recently in South America. I was not in Colombia talking about, well, America first. In Colombia, the Colombian flag is everywhere. They wear the Colombian flag on their clothes. They're proud. They put Colombia and Colombians first. But unfortunately, when you come to the United States, they want to put these people that are here, even Americans, want to put everything first in front of them. We can't have that. That's why I said we're not even all the same type of Americans. So it's a fair question, just like in that movie, the Civil War movie a few months ago, when he asked, what kind of American are you? We're not all the same. Citizenship and speaking a language does no longer mean you're an American. It just doesn't. These people want to start a completely different society and they want to get rid of everything that's already been built here everything that works. They want to reinvent the wheel. They want to start watering grass with Gatorade. I don't understand why they don't just leave and go start their own society somewhere else. Why do you want to basically go to war with us and take what's ours, what we've built? Why do you even want, well, just go do your own thing? Why go to war? A war you're going to lose. We're righteous. We're fighting to defend women and children. The people I'm talking about, they don't have kids. They don't have wives. They're a lot of them are gay or they're mentally ill. They have other motives. It's not the traditional ones that we follow. And when I say we, I mean my people. My people are those of us of like kind. If you tune in, you watch my content, you know what mentality we share. We have the same values. We believe in the same things. We might not all exactly live the exact same way, but we're we're Americans. Citizenship and the citizenship and and speaking English doesn't make you an American. I mean, as of now, with so many illegals over here, it's so diluted that there's not even nothing special about being an American no more. There's nothing even exclusive about it. It's treated like it's not even something special, but it used to be. And eventually it will be again. But it starts with us ignoring these fucking tears.
Sorry, please. Please forgive me, please.
Yeah.
This girl can go straight to hell. This video just pissed me off. I need to go get something to drink. We'll get some water. I need to cool off just thinking about how these people come here and just abuse all of our kindness. It's just too much to think about it. So it's frustrating because I've seen the results of trying to be too nice and trying to be too understanding to too many people that literally would never give us the same courtesy. When we go to their country, if you don't speak their language, they will look at you crazy. They don't go out of their way to give you free shit. Your hotel's not going to be free. Your vacation isn't free. Your food isn't free. Do you think they're over there? I wonder how many other countries are taxing their citizens, and sending money to the United States. Maybe I go check my mailbox. Maybe there's a check from India. Maybe there's a check from another country in my mailbox where they're sending me the tax money they're taking from their citizens. They're sending it over here. Maybe we got something coming. As far as I can tell, it's a one-way street and it's going out. And it doesn't even have to go out. They'll come over here and take it. You know what the remittance amounts were for some of these East African countries last year? It was in the billions. That means they're making money over here off our welfare system, and then they're laundering it and they're sending it back to their home country. Another definition for that is siphoning. Yeah, they're sucking us dry, and we're allowing it. Weak politicians, weak policies. Everyone's so afraid. Everyone's so scared. Everyone's is tiptoeing around and trying to be polite and love is love and be a good person. So be a good person means let someone take advantage of me. But if I stop them from doing it, I'm no longer a good person, then fuck it, I'm not a good person. What you gonna do about it? We have to do something. We have to do something. Like and subscribe, share my video. If you can, just hit the like button, put me into the algorithm, share the content, if you agree with it, leave a comment. I do appreciate hearing from you all. I want to read all your comments, but videos like this, they run me hot because I understand the manipulation. I see what she's doing. I understand what's going on. And I just hate that there's so many weak people that will literally have something to say negatively about me for just reacting to somebody scamming us. You're more worried about protecting the scammer who's literally scamming from you too. But that's why I ignore those people. I don't talk to them. They remind me of a person who is willing to crash a car while they're in it. Like Cameron Diaz, remember in Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise? She was willing to, she crashed her own car while she didn't jump out. She was still in the car too. A lot of these people have, like, again, they have no families, and there's no prospect for a family in the future. So they don't care about life. They don't care about tomorrow. The only thing is they don't want to die alone. So they want to take you with them. They're on suicide courses, and you think we should take advice on who to vote from them? Advice on how to live from them? You want me to listen to these people who are suicidal, who are not, they don't care about 20 years from now. They're never going to have kids. Ever. They have nothing to live for. They live to disrupt. They're only here to basically make the rest of us miserable, or to basically just destroy anything they can, because they resent you because of who you are. You know, everybody thinks that, being a normal person, some of these people are born with issues where they're confused about sexuality, gender. No matter what your mental health issue is, it's never a person with mental health issues that blames themselves. They blame their parents. They blame society. They blame Candace Owens. I mean, look at what happened with Rob Reiner. His own son blamed him for all of his problems. And that's the thing about these people. They're mentally ill, so they're never going to hold themselves accountable. So we always have to watch over our shoulders, because there's so many of them around us now. Everyone's claiming a mental disability, and it's like the numbers are climbing. It's growing. It's trendy. Bragging about how many different mental illnesses you have and how many medications you have to see who's going to be the bigger victim, trying to out-victimize the next person. Even as a society, we're no longer serious, and no one's taking us seriously. They're just taking advantage. So that's why I said, share the video, leave me some comments. I'll be back on in about 30 minutes. I have another couple of topics to talk about tonight. So just do.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.